So today we over at Fort Hamilton. As you can see, with the remaining 5 guns here, which was used to defend the port of Bequia, which is known as Admiralty Bay, which will be coming around to your left now here. These guns was obviously used to defend pirates and French raiders in the past. The remain is here. If we look at Admiralty, it's very tranquil waters, tortoise color. This is also where the ferry port where you'll come into Bequia from the mainland of St. Vincent, which is located around this part of the island. You can also see the 2 best beaches in Bequia. We have Low Bay here, and over here we have Princess Margaret Beach, and then we have the remainder coming into the Admiralty Bay. On the hill we can see Mount Pleasant in the distance there, and in and around this area is Hamilton itself. Now, here's a fun fact for you. The guy who was one of the founding father of the United States Constitution was a guy called Alexander Hamilton, and he actually founded Fort Hamilton in 1700 on the island of Bequia, but he was originally born, if I'm correct, in Nevis, St. Kitts Nevis, which is the name you're probably familiar with if you're looking for modern day geography of the Caribbean islands then. But yeah, this is a brief overview of Bequia ports, and also the capital city of Bequia, Port Elizabeth. Yeah. So yeah, it's very cool sunny day over here in Bequia. Also you can see a few yachts dotted around the harbour, because the Admiralty is very famous for the yachting culture. A good way to come to anchor for anchorage, safe harborage, especially in bad weather in other parts of the Caribbean as well. So yeah, this is a bit more of Bequia, the island I grew up in. Very scenic, very beautiful, very paradisey. Here is another view of Port Elizabeth, the capital of Bequia. This is where you'll find most of the local amenities if visiting the island. Also, this is where you'll find obviously the local police station, the hospital, the high school, and obviously village such as Level and Oakery Farm. This road here, or those 2 roads, they eventually take you up to Mount Pleasant. Now let's take a ride with me to Spring Estate and Spring View. Welcome to Spring View. From Spring View we can see the mainland of St. Vincent in the distance here. It's very cloudy today. This is also where you will get to the mainland. You will get a ferry. If we come around here, you can actually see a ferry over here coming in, making its way to Port Elizabeth Harbour. Come around to the mainland of Bequia here. Springview is, the estate in Spring is very popular with a lot of foreigners who come to the island of Bequia and buy properties, because it's quite secluded, as you can see. There's not a lot of, it's not very easy accessible unless you have a vehicle of your own, because it's quite a few miles inland from Port Elizabeth Harbour itself to get to. Also in the distance here, there's another part called the park. We are now driving along the industry Park Bay Road. This side of the island, the waves are rougher due to the Caribbean Sea meeting with the Atlantic Ocean. Also, you'll find on this part of the island, it is very popular with the, let me say, foreign investors or settlers who has a second home on the island due to the seclusion it offers away from the locals. And it also, this is the road you'll take to get to the turtle sanctuary, which will be approaching soon. The Old Hedge Turtle Sanctuary was founded in 1995 by a local gentleman called Orton King to assist conservation of the endangered hawksbill turtle due to being under threat from hunting for its meat, egg, and beautiful shells. Usually the hawksbill are raised to the age of 5 years and then returned to the beaches where they hatch and give birth to the next generation. Little known figure is by 2006, from starting in 1995, over 500 have been returned to the sea thus far. Into the 2022, that has doubled and even triple. That's from having a conversation with Mr. King. From this video you're watching here, some of these younger hawksbill turtles are around 6 months old. We have different, obviously you can see different sections for the different age groups. These ones here are around 6 months, as he says. Just speaking to him. If we go down a little further here, some of these are, I think the oldest ones he has in here is 22 years, he says, which is, I think, is a male and a female one. He didn't explain why they are here at that age, but if you look into this one pit here, we have some younger hawksbill turtle that is about, I think it's 1 week old, you're saying. And obviously these ones here are the most ageable one, which is about 22 years, he was saying. So yeah, if you're in Bequia, come and check this place out. Here is a view of where he released them back into the wild. So yeah, if you're in Bequia, please come down here and check it out. And obviously your donation and contribution is needed for the next generation. Thank you. We're now driving along Friendship Bay Road. You can see some of the local boats there in the background, what they use for the Easter regatta throughout the year. Here is the beach itself. Beautiful indeed, the biggest beach in Bequia. Also, it is located in the Atlantic side of Bequia, so the beach is slightly a bit rougher throughout the day. And obviously you can see a little bit more moss compared to beaches like Lower Bay and Princess Margaret Beach. We're now going to head up to the Whaling Museum to look at some of the boats that are used to do whaling. Here you can see a display of a whaling boat, murals and whaling gaze. Even the famous boat used by the famous whaler in Bequia called Atneel Olivier. Bequia is one of the few places in the world where continued whaling is still allowed, using traditional hunting methods of hand-thrown harpoon in small open boats as shown here. From the museum itself, you can get a very good bird's eye view of actual Friendship Bay area and Lapums in the distance. Friendship Bay is where you'll find a lot of villas, and the famous Friendship Bay Hotel, where is one of the premium hotels on the island to visit. now driving through the village of Paget Farm where I grew up. Paget Farm is predominantly a fishing village. As you can see with some of the speedboat in the background, which is used for fishing and diving, and this is where the local young men bring home the catch of the day from. Yo, big man! And also where a lot of the local income come from in this village of Paget Farm. Also, a lot of the fish here is support the local restaurants and hotels throughout the year. We now at the Lyman Bequia, which is a new development. I'm sure it's in the last 10 years or so, which is also part of the ICMI collection. I think is based in Scotland, or is collection of Scottish companies. And this is one of them in the Grenadine island of Bequia. As you can see in the distance, that is the famous moon hole, which I'll come on to in a second. This is a great spot here if you want to chill out in the afternoon and see the sunset and overlooking the famous Moonhole estate. Moonhole is a very unique area of Bequia because it's a private nature preserve. Because it was built in the 1960s using large whale bones, native hardwoods, and object recovered from the sea by the owners called the Jansons back in the 1960s with the help of the local carpenters and masons from the village of Paget Farm. Today it is supplied, power is supplied via solar and wind power. And it's mainly you can only access it by foot as seen here. Moonhole derives a name from a massive arch formed in the volcano subtract through which the setting moon is sometimes visible at night. And as you can see in part of the video, all your day from the arch. If you're thinking about coming to the Caribbean, Bequia is the place to be. It's beautiful, it's peaceful. It leaves you wanting more. It brings you back down to earth. It's not commercialized like many other islands, and you're leaving feeling 100% than you came. Thank you very much for watching. Please share, like, comment, and follow soon. Bye.